5, 3, 2, 1. As YouTube decides to let me go. We are live. We are now live on YouTube. We are streaming live.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we go.
Hello, everyone.
YouTube. So much nicer.
Something
we were on
new.
Facebook for a while there, Worship Brother Bryan, and Facebook, we don't get along with Zuckerberg, so we switched over.
Good. I don't either.
we may or may not have said some disparaging comments about him that may have caused him to
Listen,
mess with our feed. Potentially.
So
I mean, well, we certainly made some disparaging comments about it.
Yeah.
That part's not...
Whether he caught wind of them or not is a matter of debate.
all right, levels are good. So, Brother Bryan, what we're going to do is we will introduce ourselves, and then I will introduce you. And how do you say your last name?
It's Washausen.
Washausen. That's what I thought.
Washausen. Yep.
All right, perfect.
He'll
So,
screw it up at least 5 times.
at least 5 times. At least. Easily.
You think I'm kidding?
Easily. All right, ready, brothers?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast with your hosts, Right Worship Brother George Mudgery,
Worship Brother Joe.
And we're short brother.
and we are up here today with Worship Brother Bryan Washausen. And which lodge are you from, brother?
Waterloo Masonic Lodge, number 787 in Waterloo, Illinois.
And we have quite an interesting story, which is why our PR guy, Rafferty, we call him, right? PR guy?
Yeah, he's our PR guy.
Yeah, we'll go with PR guy. It's a nice thing to call
He's a
him.
jack of all trades. That's one of the nicer names that we call him.
But there was quite an interesting story that really piqued our interest when we were Rafferty was doing his homework, and he had found out that you, sir, are the owner of the building, correct?
Well, yeah, our lodge owns it. Yes, sir. We've owned it since 1920.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's
Very
incredible. You don't
cool.
hear too many stories about that, about lodges who've had their building for that long.
And have owned it and haven't had to like sell it and then rent it back out or
Right.
whatever the case may be.
So that's a great story. But you have a business inside of the building. I imagine that your lodge is on the upper level, and you are on your lodge is in the upper level, and the business is below it. Correct?
That's correct. It's a 3-story building. Our dining hall is right above the brewery, and then the temple is above the dining hall.
And so, with all this COVID thing going on, businesses we obviously know, even here in Connecticut, everywhere else, is struggling. They're
And
struggling.
Masonic lodges.
And Masonic lodges are struggling to keep their doors open. So I'd like you to just give a quick synopsis of what exactly transpired and kind of got you a little bit of well-renowned for what you guys did with the lodge.
Well, our lodge is very fortunate. We had a gentleman pass and leave us some money, and we do our best preserving that money. And we were in a position that with all that's going down, Chris and Tammy have been wonderful renters. They put a lot of their own money in that building to redo it, and we just got together one night. Actually, it was over a few beers, and we decided that the right thing to do was give them their last 3 months worth of rent checks back. So that's what we did.
That's incredible.
That's very admirable.
And how long have they been down there?
I think next year will be 5 years.
Oh wow, that's incredible. So let's get into a little bit into your Masonic career. Let's ask, as we always do, how do you get started into Freemasonry? What got you interested in Freemasonry? And where your story goes from there. So we'll start from the top. What got you interested in Freemasonry?
I've always been kind of interested in Freemasons. None of my family was a Freemasons or was a Mason, but my father-in-law was, and he got me involved, and that's how I got into it. And when I first joined our lodge, it was a very well-seasoned lodge, we'll call it. A lot of older folks in it, and I was probably one of the younger. Well, I was one of the younger ones, and now our lodge is booming. So that's been good. I've been worshipful master 3 times. The last time I was worshipful master, we raised 16 Masons.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! That's phenomenal.
You're talking about a town. Waterloo's about 10,000 people, so that's pretty busy for us,
That's incredible. We always like taking shots at French people. So Waterloo, That's quite interesting because who won that, by the way?
Not Napoleon.
Not Napoleon.
Not
Right,
Napoleon.
I love to. What? I like to enjoy poking fun at French. At the French. That's all.
Listen, how come why is my mic shut off?
I turned your mic down just a hair because of the air conditioner.
Well, you can't hear me at all now.
Now we can.
Now you're good.
We do have French listeners, and we do love our
we do.
French brothers.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, we also we have the English flag of that, which was given to us by our English listeners from abroad, and we like poking fun at them too. So I hope nobody takes offense to it. We also have the Australian flag for our Australian listeners who tune in as well, but we like poking fun. So you got into the lodge. What did you think about your entered apprentice degree? What was going through your head when you went through your entered apprentice degree? Ask this to everybody.
You know, there was a lot of things going through my head, as I'm sure every entered apprentice goes through. But I was told, you know, just know that you can trust a brother, and that's what it's all about. And, never, you know, I was never felt nervous or anything, but it's always the unknown, you know. But yeah, it was different. I enjoyed it, and it's been the best thing I ever did, become a Mason.
Right. And then obviously you got into the line. And was that kind of a voluntold thing, or was that kind of? Was that the reason I ask is I ask, you know, because I was kind of voluntold to move into the line, and I'm sure, you know, some people are like, no, I want to take some time off, but the lodges that have as you said, what was the word he used for the
well-seasoned
lodges? The minute they get young blood, they're like, no, we got to throw them in a chair. We got to throw them in a chair.
Yeah.
So is that what happened to you, or is it something you wanted to do?
Oh, I wanted to do it. I became a Mason, I think it was in July, and they immediately put me in the junior deacon spot. And
oh wow, that's fast.
Wow.
Yeah, so I took off from there, and but yeah, it was, you know, there was a lot. The good thing about it is, in the meantime, literally right after becoming a Master Mason, my father-in-law passed away.
Oh.
And so my wife is extremely supportive of the whole Mason Shriner thing. She's totally 100% behind it. So I had her support. I didn't have to fight her.
Oh, that's incredible, and it's always good to keep the wife at home happy. So if she is supportive of what you do, that makes it helpful. And you said, yes, Joe.
I was just gonna say, had your father-in-law been a Mason for a long time? Was this something that she grew up around?
Yeah, she grew up around it. My father-in-law was a Mason for a long time. Legion of Honor in the Shrine, and yeah, he'd become not real active as he got a little older, and he died young. Actually, died of cancer. But yeah, he kind of got away from it a little bit. But when I got back in, it kind of sparked him, and he started getting a little active again in our lodge.
You've had your lodge, and the reason why I'm asking this, I'll explain it to you in 2 seconds. Does your lodge, you've had it since, what you say, 1920?
Yeah.
Does your lodge have ghosts?
Does it what?
Does your lodge have ghosts?
No, it doesn't. And
No,
I think the reason why we bought the lodge in 1920, it was a 2-story building, and we added the third floor.
Oh, okay.
In 1921.
Okay.
So, no, we don't have any ghosts there. One time I thought we did, but it wasn't. It was a squirrel.
It's always how it goes.
Well, the reason why
we
I'm
don't have
asking.
any ghosts is your lodge.
Oh yeah. We've actually had ghost hunters come up here, and they've done investigations and caught voices and called me out by name and everything else. And the reason why I'm asking is because I don't know if you could see my face a little bit on the camera because I'm on the corner over here, but I just watched my headphones go flying off the table over here. Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
My home lodge was, we actually bought the church that it originally was. I think it was Second Congregational Church in Waterbury, and we bought it in, I believe, the 80s or the 90s. But that building was erected in the 1920s, and it seems to have some otherworldly stuff going on in it. So I found it kind of interesting that you said that yours was established in 1920. You guys added a third floor to it, and
My brain
Nothing
instantly goes
weird's
to that.
happened.
Instantly goes to that.
It
I'm
seems to
like,
be pretty
oh, there's
prevalent
gotta
up
be
here in
something.
Connecticut for some reason. I don't know
Right.
why.
So you were actually a 3-time past master or a 3-time master of your lodge. That's incredible. I did 2 years, and I'm like, "No, get me the hell out of here." And I'm currently the secretary, but I've already told my lodge that, no, I'm done. So Joe's going to be taking over. From
No, I am not. I've been secretary for 2 years at my mother lodge, and no, I'm also leaving.
Congratulations,
That
worshipful
chair.
brother Joe.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
But the reason why I'm asking is, did you want to do? So first off, number one, does your lodge do 2-year terms?
No.
Here in Connecticut, there's kind of a thing of like some lodges do 2-year terms, others are just a single year. And I mean, you went for the hat trick. So
Yeah.
Our lodge does 1-year terms,
okay,
and every year move around and or rotate around. And what happened was I was worshipful master, and then 3 years passed, and the senior warden who was due next had some issues and couldn't fulfill the worshipful master seat. So I volunteered again, and kind of the same thing happened. And then the third year, it was like they begged me to do the third year, and I didn't mind doing it. It's just a lot, It's a
Right.
commitment. It's a big commitment.
It's a tough gig too, especially you're responsible for the newer brothers coming in and making sure that they get their education, and at the same time you're trying to keep the well-seasoned brothers and past masters at bay, because they always, of course, have their own opinions.
right.
It's a tough spot to be in. It's a really tough spot to be in.
It is. It really is. I mean, luckily our lodge, there's they get along very well. Very, very few issues, especially personal issues. But it's just a commitment. You're juggling everything, and the year we raised 14. That's 14 times 3. That's 42 nights we were at the lodge, and that's a lot to ask of other brothers as well as the worshipful.
Yeah,
Right.
you get really good at your ritual though.
Yeah, I got my ritual down.
Your life situation changes over those 3 years too. Even as you're moving up through a progressive line, like your station in life changes during the course of that. Maybe you have a child, maybe you have grandchildren, all kinds of things can happen. And it can influence your ability to do the job of the subsequent chairs or to be a master for subsequent years.
Right.
So kudos, brother, for keeping it together for 3. That's impressive.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it is. Wouldn't catch me dead doing 3 years. I'm good.
I couldn't do it.
No, not 3 consecutive, certainly.
No,
That's not.
Are you a member of any other appending bodies?
Yeah, I'm a Shriner as well.
Shriner. That's all you joined was the Shrine, not Scottish Rite, York Rite, anything of those. Okay.
I take that back. I am a Shriner and Scottish Rite.
And Scottish Rite. Never took the York Rite route, or not interested, or
I'd like to do the York Rite yet. It just right now time is not really conducive for me. Very, very, very busy. So
right.
That's still on my bucket list, and so it's nice.
Yeah. Same thing. Unfortunately, there's so many different ways you can go that you have to kind of pick and choose, and then kind of just be happy with what you chose. Because
Right.
when you go more than one way, you're talking how many times a night? How many times a month does your lodge meet? Twice a month?
No, we only meet once a month.
Oh, really? Wow, interesting. We meet twice a month up here.
We meet once a month.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We meet once a month. But again, we got when we're doing work, we're there. We could be there 3 or 4 times a month, but we only meet once a month.
Yeah. When you take so we meet. Even once. Actually, Tammy is waiting to join in, so I'm going to see if I can add her. Whoa, that was weird. I'm going to see if I can add in Tammy real quick. Oh, come on now. Give me 1 second, brother. my Skype is not playing nice right now. All right. Add. There we go.
If you need a little on hold music, I can.
No, I got it.
I can work something up. Sure. I got some Earth, Wind, and Fire ready to go, man.
Saying
in the can.
Yeah.
We could do a duet.
And that is RAHN, correct?
That's correct.
It's saying she's unavailable. Interesting.
In a land called fantasy, a life for you and me to behold. With your soul is ecstasy. You will.
Joe's our local singer. He just decides to start busting out ballads in the middle of a podcast. This is what he does.
The only musician amongst us.
Yeah. And it's songs that I've never heard of. All right.
How do you not know Fantasy by Earth,
I've
Wind, and
never
Fire?
heard
Really, I mean,
before.
it's pretty well known.
You know who Earth, Wind, and Fire is,
No,
though,
I
right?
don't. No,
You've never heard Boogie Wonderland
Oh,
and
my God.
Let's Groove Tonight and
No.
September? Come on.
No.
Yes, you have.
No, I
You're a
haven't.
liar. You're a liar. Can't believe you would lie to your brother.
So I was having problems. I can't add Tammy into the call for some reason. It's saying that she's unavailable. Oh, boy. My headphones are...
I'll have our PR guy work on that behind
Yeah.
the scenes as we're.
There we go.
She might be able to splice into the same call too if she sees that that he's on with you. She might
Right.
be able to join in. But
Right.
anyway.
Well, I did invite her, so... But anyway, so you... what do you do? What is your current position in the lodge at this moment? Are you past master, sitting on the sidelines? I'm all set.
Well, I
Giving good
was,
counsel.
I was past master sitting on the sidelines until we gave those free rent checks back. And now I've been officially appointed as the Waterloo Masonic Lodge public relations person.
Ah, very nice.
Oh, he's like Rafferty.
Right, he's like Rafferty.
Only smarter. No, come on. I had to take a shot at him. It was easy. It was easy. I'm sorry, Raph. I love
funny.
you. As he texts me, I'm listening. I love you, Raph.
That's a tough job though. So are you responsible for like Masonic outreach too, like community related stuff where you guys do charitable events in the community?
Well, it's kind of it's funny you mentioned that we had been talking about the movement body beyond the face of the public and do the Chamber of Commerce meetings and things like that. And after the COVID hit, we did all this. I kind of been appointed into that position. So yeah, we do some fundraising and we do a lot. As a matter of fact, we do a couple barbecues a year. We got quite a bit going on.
Cool. Very cool. We're having some... I started playing with buttons, so now the video is kind of being...
You couldn't
funny.
leave well enough alone.
I couldn't
Hopefully
leave
it's
off
just
enough.
our headphone monitors and it doesn't make it into
Yeah.
the actual recording.
If it does, I'll
it's-
fix it later.
Keep playing with it, you'll be blind.
Nice. So what compelled your lodge to I mean, granted, I know the COVID thing, and even lodges are hurting. So we know this for... I know we're hurting up here at the lodge. Not so much money-wise, but just... we can't do events. Our Grandmaster basically put a kibosh on any type of Masonic event type thing, any type of fundraisers we do, anything of that, any type of that nature. So, I mean, I think it's really cool that your lodge, and I know you said that your lodge is very well off with money and all that stuff. You came into money, and we up here at Morningstar, we're pretty good with money as well. But in order to, like, if we own the building as Morningstar, I mean, I don't know if we can swing giving 3 checks back of rent if we own the building. So that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know how business is for you guys out there, but like we don't really even do business. We kind of we gave our treasurer power to pay bills, but that's pretty much it. So
Well,
how are you guys able to swing that?
Well, we're, like I said, fortunate enough that we have some money, and we're doing our best to preserve it, investing and things like that. But we felt that it was right Chris and Tammy, like I said, have been fabulous renters, and rent checks always early. And one night over, matter of fact, it was the last night in Illinois before they shut the bars down. We got together and we were talking and decided that just hold on to their rent checks. At first, it was just going to be the 1 month, and then it ended up being the 3. So the way we kind of did business was we have a service called, you might have it as well, called a call them all.
Yeah,
where you put up the numbers into the brother and you put out a call. And we said, if there's any brothers in need or anybody in need, and reach out, and we would kind of do a phone discussion type thing. And so we pretty much gave our secretary the ability and the treasurer to pay the bills and as they come due. But what's kind of crazy, we didn't. Everything got kind of quiet. We didn't get a lot of requests for donations or people in need, not even from the local food pantries that we give to frequently. It was just kind of weird, you'd think that people would be really, really in need, but they weren't. I mean, at least where we live, we were a pretty fortunate area.
A question for you. Worship Brother Greg Schultz asks, where is Worship Brother Bryan's lodge?
It's in Waterloo, Illinois, which is about 25 miles south of St. Louis on the Illinois side.
Okay. Very cool.
Monroe County, Illinois.
All right, so let's talk beer. I know here at Morningstar Lodge, we have downstairs, we have Jimmy's Place, which is, they got fantastic porchetta.
It's a tavern.
It's a tavern, if you will.
But their beer selection's a little lacking.
Beer selection is a little lacking.
PBR and Bud Light.
So,
that
by no means am I trying to say that Masons convert the purposes of refreshment to intemperate. So, excess will go with?
No, but we can have standards.
No, but we're allowed to have.
We do go downstairs afterwards, and we have quote unquote fellowship. Is that the standard for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. We go downstairs to Chris and Tammy sometime. There's another bar down the street that we go to. But last year, it got passed through Grand Lodge that in the dining hall, we can now have alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have a beer fridge locked up in a room, and we open it up, $2 beers, and all that money we use to further the Masonic. We pick something we take the money from, profit from, and we donate it. And we like to go downstairs to Chris and Tammy's. And the problem is we meet on Monday nights. Chris and Tammy are usually closed on Monday nights.
That's
but sometimes they'll open, or they'll be open for whatever reason. We'll go down there. But yeah, we always like to get together. Social. That's where you build, the good bonds at.
So these folks have a brewery, and they have it in a building in which resides a Masonic temple, and it just so happens that you guys are their landlords, and they're renting from you. And now they could have opened their business pretty much anywhere. Given what's happened, given the fact that you guys meet in that building, and not only do you rent to them, but also your brother, the brothers of the lodge go down and patronize their business. And in fact, when all the pandemic stuff happened, you guys helped them out financially. What do they have to say about the Masonic institution? I mean, I'm assuming they didn't have any Masonic lineage prior to starting their business. What do they have to say about everything?
They were thrilled. We told them, do what you need to do with the money. And I know most of that money, and I'm not speaking for Tammy, but because we can't have troubles getting her to join in, I know most of that money went back to their employees, which was fabulous.
That's awesome.
Great.
Tammy's husband, Chris, is an optimist. He belongs to the Optimist Club, and I think we're working on wooing him right up into that lodge, because that's where he needs to be.
Nice.
Right.
It's funny how things have a way of working out sometimes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we're trying to get there. And I don't know if we
recruit, but we recruit.
Well,
I mean, it's not recruiting.
He's
if
there
people just
anyway.
see how Masons act,
Right.
and what we're about.
Right.
And if you come to our doors after that, then that's not recruiting. That's just you want to be part of this organization.
If you want to learn how Masons act, you don't need to listen to this podcast.
Well, sometimes.
No, we get good information, but we're also into the horseplay.
I don't know that we've mentioned the name of the brewery yet. It's the Stubborn German. That's in Waterloo, Illinois. So if we have any brothers out in that area, definitely check them out. And hey, dude, would you happen to know if they have any Masonic themed beers? Like any names of beers that are Masonically themed?
They did have one for the shrine. They did one for the shrine, and they did because the Monroe County Shrine Club that I belong to. We meet. Chris and Tammy let us meet in the basement of the bar. Cool. They have a fixed up room down there, and they let us meet down there, and they don't charge us, which is awesome. And so they did a beer for us, but I think we might be angling for a Masonic beer now.
Well, I mean, if they decided to create such a brew after all of this, that would be cool.
And we might have to try to get our hands on it in some way.
I don't know how well beer keeps in PS shipping, but
so how far of a drive are you from, say, like Cleveland, Ohio?
Cleveland.
Or go Columbus, whichever. Just thinking, how close will that be if when I take my daughter out to college? If it's a hop.
Cleveland is still a good 8 hours away from us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like double.
Yeah, we live in Connecticut. It's the size of a shoebox.
Hey, man, I'm just
you get from one end to the other.
I
like
drive.
5
It
seconds.
takes me over 8 hours to get to Cleveland. I'm thinking it's closer than Connecticut for sure.
we're gonna need to take a plane, Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's going to require a plane.
Yeah.
We'll fly out somewhere, get a 2 or 3 hour layover.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do have some great aviator glasses
There you
here, and
go.
so do you. I mean, we could probably get onto the tarmac, and nobody would know the difference, and we could just take one.
Yeah, let's do
Feel
it. Let's take my Cessna.
Oh, yeah.
Worship Brother Greg Schultz.
For you.
Worship Brother Greg Schultz asks, "Beer is locked up? ? Aren't Masons honest?"
No, we have a DBA chapter that meets there, and we decided it'd be best to lock the doors.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that's
I
a
gotta
fair
agree.
point. Yes.
Even here in Connecticut, we have some pretty rigid rules and guidelines that we have to
Rigid. We're
align
going to go with
ourselves.
rigid.
I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Yeah, I mean,
tyrannical, but whatever.
No,
Continue.
No, it's not
So we were basically
tyrannical.
told by our grand jurisdiction that we needed to either create what's called a bottle club, which you might be familiar with. It's kind of like a nationwide phenomenon. A lot of private clubs, social clubs, and stuff have this bottle club.
You're responsible for your own alcohol, basically.
Yeah.
You have to put your name on it. You
bring it in.
It's an
share
insurance
it
thing.
in.
It's a
Yeah,
liability
it's a
thing is what
liability
it comes
thing.
down to.
Or you have to get a liquor permit. So like any restaurant or bar would have. So it's one or the other. And of course, all of us, the majority of the lodges in the state chose to
Well, what's even
create a
better
bottle
is
club.
if you own the building and rent out the bottom floor to a brewery.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're good.
Right.
Then
Yes,
you're good to go. That's
So
what
if we rented the Jimmy's downstairs, we'd be good because we would just we would be able to go down there where they have a liquor permit.
Well, we actually kind of thought we were going to get a little pushback when we decided to lease the lower floor to the brewery from the Grand Lodge, because they're like, it's not connected, you can't get down there. And I'm like, no, the door that used to go from the main floor to the second floor is sealed. We can't get down there, because we have to exit our building to go into their building.
That's a fair compromise.
More importantly, they can't get up into the lodge, which I'm
Right.
sure is what Grand Lodge was really concerned about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on.
We're still,
I'm trying
just
to-
everybody knows the reason why there's a pause occasionally. We're still trying to work to get Tammy on the broadcast so we can hear from herself to tell us her side of things and what her experience has been like. And we're working diligently behind the scenes to try to get that going for you.
I just seen somebody posted a question or whatever, a statement that they said they love the name Shits and Giggles. Well, that's one of Chris's beers, Shits and Giggles. And he's really unique names he comes up with. Him and Tammy are pretty crafty when it comes to that.
That's funny.
I feel like that's a requirement for any good brewery, right? Marketing is a big thing, and having that that special name for your beer. There seems to be a lot of competition in that area, especially with the local breweries in Connecticut. I feel like that's kind of part of the role that you're taking if you're going to open up a brewery. So, Worshipful Brother, what are some of the big events that you guys do in your lodge? It could be themed degrees or charitable causes that you support. What are some of the big things that you guys always have on your trestle board year after year?
Year after year, we always try to give. We get a lot of requests for donations, obviously, like a lot of other lodges do. And we try to donate to as much as we can, but there is a couple of programs that we like to support. There was one that was called the Backpack Program. It's where we donated money along with obviously other organizations, and the local schools would send some of these kids home with a backpack full of food because when they leave on Friday, they may not have a whole lot of food to get through the weekend. So we kind of did that. We try to do that. We try to support local benefits, but pretty much if anybody in need, we help. We always try to. We also do a meal. One of the churches in our town, they do a meal every Monday night, and we'd like to once a year. You go up and we donate all the food and serve and all that. And it's kind of a fellowship for anybody. I mean, you don't have to be, down on your luck. It's just a good socializing hour, and we try to do that and just whatever we can do in the community to get to help out. That's what we do.
Very cool. Yeah, I know that's a big issue with school children. Obviously, in most jurisdictions. I'm still in like Mason mode here. In most states around the country, that's like a normal thing, right? Like subsidized lunches and stuff like that for kids that may not get the nutritional support at home that they really need, and that's fine during the week. But what happens on the weekends, right? So
right.
That the fact that you guys are doing a program like that, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we do that. Like just wherever we can help. I mean, I've been in Waterloo my whole life, and when it was small, and now it's kind of still small, but 10,000 people.
10,000 is fairly large.
Yeah, we try to help out wherever we can. Doesn't matter. Somebody needs help, we're there.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what Masonry is all about.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here to do.
So I was looking at some of the other items on the beer menu down there, and they've got a Schwartz beer, which is a black lager that's called May the Schwartz Be With You.
Oh my God. See, I didn't look at their menu because then I would want to go.
Yeah, I definitely want to go.
Plane tickets are expensive right now, and I don't really want to go.
They've got one called Blitzkrieg that's in kind of like a Metallica looking font.
Oh, cool, with a lightning bolt and stuff.
Yeah, so definitely. I bet you got some good brats out there too. So is Waterloo, Illinois, like a predominantly German settled town? Is that like the history of that town, or is it just
absolutely? It's very, very German. And when you said brats, we actually have a meat market town called Schneider's Quality Meats, and the owner is a brother, and he makes a stubborn brat. He uses actual beer from stubborn German and makes brats. They're delicious.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Oh man, so we really want brats too. Now.
So if we flew out there, where would we fly into St. Louis and go from there, or?
Yeah, fly to St. Louis, and then come on down to Waterloo, and there's a hotel down here, and we'll show you a good time. I promise.
Yeah, we're gonna have to set up the itinerary after this call.
Yeah, we need to book.
Now
we have
I'm
a booking
hungry and
agent
thirsty.
like that books our hotel. We need a travel in-house travel agent.
Yeah, pay for it too.
Right. We'll start a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Just in exchange, we'll film the whole trip.
Yeah, there you go. Content generation. Write that off as a business expense.
Be a reality show.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't like hearing I hear like something
lose him?
Skype.
Boop, boop. Sounds like we lost him.
Don't presume to tell me how to run my ship. Sounds like a little submarine thing.
Oh, was that?
It was a really bad Sean Connery doing a Russian accent.
I know, but you know what? I know that movie like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It is a great
On
movie.
for Red October. Can I say that, or am I going to get sued by?
Oh, we'll get sued by
guys.
somebody. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, whatever. They all hate us. Zuckerberg. Paramount.
Oh, did we lose?
Nope, he's right there, brother. I tried swapping over and calling Tammy, and it says that she's unavailable. So I'm not 100% sure how that's working out. It sounds like it's something on her end. So anyway,
It's a bummer because, man, they're great people.
yeah, we'll follow up with her.
Her
Yeah.
and Chris. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we could always call her after we let you go, brother Bryan. We could always give it a shot.
Do a part
Good call.
two,
Do a part two,
like a series.
like a series. All right. So what's next for you, brother Bryan? What do you what's next for you masonically? What are things that you want to do in the future? Now that you've been three-time past master. What do you? I know you're a public relations officer right now with the community and everything, but what's your next endeavor that you'd like to pursue?
Well, there's a few things, I mean, that I'd like to do. I know that last year they also finally in Illinois approved that we can do one raffle a year.
That's interesting.
So we want to work on that. This year is obviously a wash because we couldn't meet hardly at all, but we do a gun raffle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which works out really
We
well.
like
Last year we
guns.
gave away a Desert Eagle. And
Wow, that's
it
a
was
hell of a
cool.
gun raffle.
yeah,
We give away an O. Henry. Shit, I need
Yeah,
to go
right.
join that jurisdiction.
Like a Henry or a Marlin 30-30 or something. They're giving away Desert Eagles out there. We got to go
yeah, it
visit
was
them.
great.
Road trip.
But yeah, just my main job ever since I became a Mason was to get us out in the community more because of the money that we have. We're not forced to do fundraisers. It kind of hurt us as well, as far as getting your name out because we're not out there. We don't have to be out there.
Mhm.
Well, I'm trying to change that a little bit, and I have been ever since I've been in there. I think we need to be out and about. There were people who have come up to me and said, I didn't even know there was a Masonic Lodge at Waterloo. And it's right in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work on that.
And sometimes it's not about money either, right? Like if your lodge is really well-to-do and you have a great endowment, that's awesome. Like you don't have to do fundraisers per se, but a lot of the activities that I really love about my lodge are when we're putting in sweat equity into something, right? Helping out a cause by going out and handing out, God help me, don't hit me, Joe. I know how much you hate pamphlets, but let us say handing out flyers in front of a Walmart, right? Because there's a
Nicely
local
done.
shelter that's low on supplies and, they're running into tough times. And, here, if you're in there shopping anyway, pick out a few things on this list because this shelter that's named at the top is really, hurting for supplies right now. If you could bring a few of those out, put them in our truck, we'll bring them right over to that location. But that's all, in us going and helping people shop and, helping brothers out during the pandemic and doing shopping for some of our brothers that are at risk and don't want to go into the grocery stores. Those kinds of things I find to be more redeeming than just asking for donations anyway. So there's totally
absolutely.
things like that we can do
Absolutely.
as Masons to continue to make a difference, even when money isn't an issue.
Yeah. And I mean, but that was the thing. We went out there. And again, I mean, nothing against a lot of, but like I said, when I first started, it was definitely an aging lodge and, it needed some life. A fresh breath of air is what it needed, and we've been trying to do that, and we got it. Right now we have a fabulous lodge. We got great guys. We got guys that are willing to do things. It's just been fun.
Yeah, sometimes you just need an influx of new ideas, and that's all it really
Yeah.
takes.
Yeah, it's really, and Masonry at its core has always been philanthropic. So whether it's, like Worship Brother Ken said, collecting goods for the less fortunate, or even sponsoring things like my mother lodge sponsors a scholarship award for the high school. That's one way you can get your name out there and and get involved. And I purposely picked an obnoxiously long name for the scholarship award. This way, when they read it at the high school, every year you hear people take notice because it's the Ashler Aspetuck Lodge number 142, agent-free and accepted Masons of Connecticut Scholarship Award.
Wow, and they have to,
they have to read the whole thing. There's no abbreviation,
no AF and AM or anything like that.
But it's funny because we've been doing it since 2015 when I was master, so we've been doing it for 5 years now, and it's like you always get a couple chuckles in the. I actually missed not being able to hand it out in person this year because of the COVID stuff. But you always get like the snickers and the chuckles in the audience.
There's a couple folks on the board of ed that are Masons that are just like,
well, and even the person giving away the award like goes halfway through and then takes a deep breath and then continues with the name. But there's things like that are important from a Freemasonry standpoint to get out in the community, to let people know you're there. Because I think that's not from only a standpoint from getting new members. That's certainly a byproduct of it, but you want to be a part of the community. You want to be, you want people to know who we are and what we do, so that we're not like this big scary building up on a hill somewhere, or people walk by. Okay, walk by that fast. They'll snatch you and bring you in or something like that.
I like the big scary buildings, though. What's the problem with that?
I mean, that's cool, but you still want the world to be convinced of the organization's good effects.
Yes,
even when we're in the giant haunted mansion up on the hill with the lightning and whatnot.
Well, you guys talk about the big building and us buying ours, and since 1920, it's kind of neat. Chris and Tammy put a little on their Facebook page, a history of our building and who owned it and what it was, what was in there before, and it's pretty neat. If you guys ever go to their Facebook page, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. And that seems to be pretty consistent with a lot of the breweries, at least in New England, right? We come from an area where there was a lot of, during the Industrial Revolution, there were a lot of mills and so forth around here, a lot of manufacturing companies. And, when everything kind of went post-industrial in maybe the 90s and early 2000s, a lot of those companies shut down and a lot of those buildings were vacated. And what seems to have happened, especially in the last 10 years or so, is a lot of breweries and distilleries and companies like that need large industrial spaces, and the obvious first choice when you're starting a business are these old post-industrial mill buildings. So around here anyway, it seems like those old historic, bolt plants and stuff like that, old mills, textile plants, brass fabricating factories and stuff like that, those seem to be where these breweries are popping up. So it tends to be in cities and not really so much in rural areas, because there was less manufacturing in rural areas. Are you guys seeing something similar? I'm questioning this just based on the fact that Chris and Tammy decided to open their business in a Masonic lodge. Is it just because your lodge happens to be the largest space in the area that can support a brewery operation with all the machines that they need, or what?
Hold on. I think I just kicked that.
Did you kick him off the call, George?
I may have.
Oh man.
Wow. That wasn't supposed to happen. I dropped the ball on that one. There we go.
Yeah, I think you're safe right now.
Yeah, I think you're safe.
Downtown, and we had a big building, and it was nice because right outside of our building is the courthouse, which has a big courthouse square in it, and it's a good piece of property. Part of the reason why Chris and Tammy, I think, wanted to be there, but a whole lot going on in downtown Waterloo right now, and everybody's doing that older look. We got, a wine bar. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So Waterloo's really, really happening right now.
Cool.
Yeah, it's actually just looking at a picture of the building, and it's like typically what you would a typical brick type building you'd expect to see in a downtown area out in the Midwest. I'm looking it up. It was built in 1885 by Joseph Pluth, and it was a dry goods store. It sold like twine, salt, pecans, clothing, like a mercantile type a general store, and that's exactly like if a building that was built in the late 1800s,
2-story
downtown.
rectangular brick building
Exactly.
kind of thing.
It's a beautiful building.
And now you guys said you added the third story when your lodge.
We bought it in 1920, 1921. We added a third story.
Okay, cool.
Very cool. I'm having problems getting Tammy on here, so but what we'll probably do is I'll give her a call and we'll have her again on at another time. But brother,
we can try to get her on Thursday maybe.
Yeah, we could try again Thursday and
2-parter.
We'll do a 2-parter and
Cliffhanger.
What I'll do is, I'll do is I'll try it differently. Once I get it all set up with her, if you're available Thursday, I'd love to have you back on again, and we can certainly do this again.
Okay, what time would that be?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock your time.
All right, yeah. Let me see. Well, I will try my damnedest. I got work involved and all that, but I'll make sure I'm out of there so I can do that for you.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason it's not recognizing her Skype number. It's saying that she hasn't, even though I was just literally on my phone talking to her. But
she blocked you.
Yeah, she blocked
me. It's preemptive block. She knew what was coming. It's like, no, we're good.
But Brother Bryan, thank you again for being on here, and what you and your lodge did was extremely admirable, and definitely to me shows the testament of what Freemasonry is all about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for making the rest of us look good.
Yeah.
Which is really hard to do if you know this group.
I look forward to chatting with you guys again.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, worshipful brother.
All right, we're going to let you go, and thanks again, brother.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
at least the internet didn't crap out.
The internet did not crap
Yeah,
out.
we can't blame the internet or Zuckerberg
No.
for this one. This is
No.
all us.
This is Skype, actually.
all
I just like how you're
It's-
trying to blame my phone for audio issues when we've got this 1968 air conditioner that's probably drawing half the
Listen.
electricity in this building.
Listen.
Or blaming the guest.
You leave
Like,
my 1968 air
must be
conditioner
blocking
alone.
our callers.
1968, they made everything great. Cars and air conditioners.
Okay.
Those are the only
Both
two
come with
examples
shag
you have.
carpet.
I'm going to make everybody
It's shag
deaf again.
carpet.
Don't do it.
So here's a funny little tidbit we're talking about. Are you calling somebody? Or are you calling?
Boop, boop.
What's happening now?
So
It's the Americans.
Here's a
it
funny
reminds
thing
me of, right?
I
Tammy
pointed
doesn't-
out to a friend of mine today. We're talking about 1968 and being old and things like that.
Mm.
Would you, and this friend of mine was in utter disbelief when I pointed this fact out, that I was in elementary school in the 70s. Late 70s, I was in elementary school. Think
Let
about
them
it.
sing.
Let the men.
And they're like, no way were you in elementary school in the 70s.
Yeah, no.
I was.
I was in elementary school in
was.
the 80s.
So it was a little bit of a surprise.
No.
Because I'm old.
Yes, you are.
But I look good.
That was an awesome interview, I have to say. That was a lot of fun. I wish
good
we could have
guys out
got
there.
I wish we could have got Tammy on, but again, we'll recap on Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. We'll make a 2-parter out of it.
Yeah,
Sometimes you get multiple people on Skype, and Skype
Mhm.
doesn't want to play nice. That's fine.
That's pretty much what happened.
And especially now, who knows? It's Sunday night. People that can't see each other might be doing like family Skypes, and
Right.
the server might be busy and whatnot.
Super cool story, though. I mean, that's what Freemasonry is all about.
Absolutely.
You know, if we rented to somebody and it was a business and they were running into hard times because of the current climate in the world, I think it's safe to say that all of us would do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So, with the exception, I have to ask our viewers that are watching, with the exception of everything in the entire room being bass backwards, what do we think of YouTube? Do we like YouTube a little bit better?
Oh, yeah. It's so cool.
Right
Just
now?
looking at it on my phone, the picture looks clearer.
Yes, it does.
It looks almost
Looks
HD.
clear. It
I don't
seems
know
to be
if I
moving.
like that, though, because then people will be zooming into my pores and then posting pictures.
I don't know that it's
I'm
that
liking
clear.
YouTube. I'm
Oh,
not going to lie. How's it looking on Facebook? Is it you guys are on the Facebook, right? Because you
No, I'm right on
cross-
the YouTube.
I took it from YouTube and I just shared it onto Facebook. So it's
Onto
probably not streaming, but people can click like the little play button thing and it'll.
Cool.
So we'll see how that went. If that didn't work out great, we'll find a better way of doing it.
But no complaints from me. All good. Keith Noonan. Thank you, brother.
Sweet.
Yeah, we decided to switch over to YouTube. Seems to be moving much better.
It's a clear picture. I'm
Swap
looking
out
at
a few cables though.
It's Sunday at 6 o'clock. I mean, and it's stifling hot out. I'm sure there's nobody who wants to sit here and watch what we're doing. Again, we're going to see people watching more in the wintertime than the summertime, because obviously in the summertime it doesn't get dark till almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so I'm expecting people are outside right now hanging out. It's the summertime. Nobody wants to listen to us three hooligans up here.
Incidentally, it's really hard to come up with interview questions or ask interview questions when you're sweating to death. Like the heat just sucks all of your brain power right out. It's really disconcerting.
Scott Blanchard, YouTube was okay. Ken isn't ghosted out.
That's because we've got numerous things blocking the window now so that I don't get washed out.
What do you think, brothers? I know this was a relatively shorter one, but we will definitely on Thursday.
Just the way you like it.
We'll do the son of a bitch. We'll do this again on Thursday, and we'll definitely get Tammy on. I will message her back, and
because I really want to get into some beer discussion. That'll be fun.
100%.
Yes.
Hopefully the heat wave is broken by then.
I hope so.
Maybe we can get them to name a beer after me too.
Ooh. I mean, that's pretty high aspiration.
It's been done before.
It's stubborn German brewery. So I
got some stubborn Polak in me, if that counts.
Boosh.
No, it's Deutsch. They pronounce it Deutsch.
They could
it's
create
not called Doucheland. It's Deutschland.
Mildly aggressive ginger.
Like a ginger beer. Nobody's ever done a ginger beer in my honor before.
Josef Schwein.
Oh,
mildly aggressive ginger.
Josef Schwein. I think that's what we'll call it. Josef Schwein.
No, I don't know.
She knows what I'm
Doesn't
talking
sound
about,
German.
right? It is German, right?
Oh God, stop!
Right? Oh, it's German.
Oh God, I hate you people.
Get moving, woman pig. For the Freemasons podcast, I am Right Worship Brother George Marjorie signing off.
Worship Brother Joe signing off. Thank God.
Worship Brother Ken signing off.
I love that face he makes every time I go on in front of my freaking thing. It actually gives me fuel for the week. So, have a good night, everyone.
Wow.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night, animals.
I love watching Ken's face cringe.
Man, it is
It gives
hotter
me
than.
pleasure.
Are we offline?
Maybe.
Oh God!
You got to ask him 3